But what about Orange is the New Black?
What?
What are you saying about Orange is the New Black?
That I need to start watching it again because I devoted a lot of time into seasons 1 through 3.
Well, Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I spent a lot of time binge watching that, so I feel like I should go back and watch the stuff that I was kind of like not really paying attention to, and then watch the final season because apparently it came out I think like last year. I think the final season, and apparently it was super good.
And apparently. Yeah, thank you for joining us, folks. Welcome to our universe, the CayVin Universe. Of course, we're your host. I'm Vinny.
And I'm Caylin.
Yeah, we're talking about Orange is the New Black. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Where do you? Thank you for joining us. I just want to, this is the first time we actually started an episode with us just having a conversation, but I like it. Yeah. We might start more episodes like that.
Yeah. I like it too.
Where do you think you'll start back from?
Season 4, I think, is where I left off. Because I watched some of it, but like I said, I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. So, and then 2, I left off. I know a good stopping point or starting point because the last good thing I remember was the riot in the prison. And if anybody has seen Orange is the New Black, they know the riot in the prison. But what started the riot in the prison, which was when was when the prison guard killed Pussy.
Who?
Pussy.
You killed Pussy. I've heard
name.
Those male prison guards, because I have a, degree in criminal justice, so I took a class on criminal or American prisoners was the name of the class. And my teacher told me, or the professor told me, that this happens way off to the knot. So this male guard was killing Pussy in the prison?
No, he killed Pussy.
Who?
She's a character. She's a character in the show, and
her name is Pussy.
Her name is.
She's
it's
in
not
a woman's
Pussy.
prison.
Say it after. Repeat after.
No,
me.
I said Pussy.
Pussy. So P-O-O-S-A-Y.
You gotta grab some Pussy. So okay. Well, I've never really seen it. If you something happened, one day we all know what's gonna happen. One day you're gonna kill me. So when you kill me and you think you get away with it, and you don't, and you get in prison, sent to prison for the rest of your life, an all women's, max security prison, you think you'll be munching some beaver?
Probably. I'd probably be killing that Pussy. I'll probably be beating on that Pussy. What?
Oh my god.
But honestly, I think it would take me a while.
I'll just be watching from heaven.
I think I would wait.
Like, dang, girl.
Jesus. Oh my god, that's so bad.
Oh god, we were just started and it's already a shit show. But yeah, so no, so I obviously can't wait till you get back into that.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and officially start the show.
And you know what else? Ruby Rose is in that show.
Oh yeah, you do have a thing for,
I like the Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
And what's her name from WWE?
I don't know. Let's move on.
They look alike.
Let's move on before you leave me for a woman.
Oh my goodness.
Just kidding. Yeah, let's move it right along. Let's actually do more of what's on your mind, more of what's on Kaylin's mind, but kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, I guess you can say. What's bothering Kay today?
Let me tell you. So
the fact that you had to do like a wind up in your brain, you can see that happening.
Okay, so do you remember when I was telling you about from the Capitol riots when they arrested that guy that was walking around with the horns?
Yeah.
Very well-known photo now.
Yeah, a little bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, so they arrested him. And if you don't know, once he got to jail, he actually refused to eat because he said that the prison food was not organic and that he needed to be fed organic food, right?
Oh my gosh. Before you keep going, I'll let you keep going, but I remember when I told my dad that, and my dad literally, because my dad's been to jail, and he's like, what a little bitch. He literally shook his head in disappointment, because my dad, is older, he thinks differently now, but he still just shook his head in disappointment. It was just like, what a little bitch. And I was like, yeah, these are people today. These are people today.
He is a little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, get this. I thought that was bad enough that he requested something so no, that would never happen, you know?
Yeah. I was like, when you first told me the story a while back, I was like, okay, I can see how long this lasts.
Well, I see a, I guess, what do you call it when it's like not a meme, but it's like a photo, like a photo with a caption, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So it had side by side, and it caught my eye because it had, his name's Jacob Chansley. I believe it is. Yeah, Jacob Chansley, the horn guy. He was actually moved to a prison, I believe in Virginia, where he was going to be served organic food.
Oh, damn.
Like,
see, on one end, you know, there's gonna be those. I don't even know how to see. Like, I don't even know why. Like we talked about last episode, you know, or a few episodes ago. Why are there cults? Why are there this? There's people still gonna stick up for him, you know, just because of the sake that he's a human. But there's fucking animals that deserve better treatment than that.
Literally,
you know, and you get, you know, people that just because they belong to a specific class or a specific race, or, you know, a lot of times a specific gender even, they get treated a certain way, and it just they get treated like animals.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know who Terrell Thomas is? So yeah, he's the African American man who was serving time in jail, I believe in Milwaukee. He went without water for 7 days just for the fact that they just wouldn't give it to him.
People get put in jail and they're automatically targeted
a put in like their own group.
Yeah, they're target a criminal, and then it's like, yeah, and then it just filters from there, and it's just like, we're just gonna treat these people like shit because they act or look like this, and we're gonna treat these people good because we match skin colors. Yeah, like, that's fucked up.
I know we're talking about skin color, but I know you brought up gender too, that it matters. Have you ever seen the video of that girl that gave birth in prison? Because, like, literally, they were just feeding her like towels and pillows through her
heard
door.
About that. Yeah,
that's
just there, man. I just don't even want to get into it because I feel my head getting hot.
Right.
I feel my blood boiling, and I was feeling too good before.
I know. Maybe it's that shot.
Yeah, it was that shot we took. Yeah. We've been drinking pretty much every episode, so we're filming my downfall as we speak. So yeah, there we go.
Jesus.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the main topic of the show, which I have no idea what we're talking about. You really didn't brief me much today.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we actually. I don't even want to get into it, people.
Yeah, good people.
Let's just go ahead and so we're going to talk about some serial killers, I guess, or some shit?
Yes, because I just finished the Night Stalker about Richard Ramirez. And I think you listened in on some of them.
Yeah. So I'm familiar. You're just going to have to bring them up as they come.
Honestly,
we are going to be, we're just going to be. Yeah. It's going to be spontaneous, or not spontaneous, kind of improvisation from me, or just as we go. Yes. I usually like to be prepared, but sometimes I don't, sometimes it's good to not be prepared. Just throw them at me. What do you got? What stories you got?
Okay. Richard Ramirez. I know you're familiar with him.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Literally, because I did not know what's that word? Like, not extensive, but like, I did not know how terrible this man was. Yeah. I just have always known him to be like, oh, he killed some women. But that's not even the case, because come to find out, he's out here killing. It don't matter what age you are. Yeah. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter what gender you are.
And I think a lot of people have that or had that about him, is like, you were kind of familiar with him. You knew he was a serial killer. Maybe you knew that he came into people's houses and stuff like that. Yes. But you didn't really know like the extent of the murders and everything. Yes. And holy shit, like, to know that even if you just knew about him on paper, you would see that he wasn't even charged for any type of like children, like crimes or molestation or anything like that, because they didn't want to put the families through that to testify. So it's like, you didn't even know that. Like, a lot of people didn't even know that. They, like, especially the people that were in love with them and stuff and wanted to be with them. It's like, he was a fucking pedophile as well as everything else.
Yes. But like, then he hurt like 80-year-old women.
Like, but then ladies. Like I've always said, like I always told you, like, and I've believed in myself for a long time, because I'm the product of, because I think about it in myself as well, is that you're just a product of your childhood and what you were basically, what was built in. And it's true. When you're a kid, you really are a sponge. And it does shape a lot of people. A lot of people can break it. A lot of people can change, but most can't. And you know, the fact that the shit that his dad would do, and his uncle showing him pictures of women that he molested and killed in Vietnam, and his dad putting him in a cemetery and a cross, like the fact that he believed in the devil and was strayed so far away from God is because I believe there was probably nights when he was on that cross in the cemetery and prayed to God and asked God for help, and then, you know, you get to a point where God doesn't come, and then you're like, well, fuck, what do I do from here? And that's shapes that, you know, why he thought he was doing the devil's work, because he's like, you know, if God didn't help me, the only time I got satisfaction in my life was when I was doing evil things, and so he just thought he was doing the devil's work.
And then like too, like how he figured like to do all this. So this wasn't like a thought out, like, hey, I saw you in the grocery store earlier and I'm gonna follow you.
Let's not give this guy credit. He wasn't a mastermind in anything. He basically, this was a time where people kept their windows open and their doors open, so he basically just walked around and looked for who the fuck was open. And I think that's why his killings were so spontaneous, because I think in the end of the day, this dude was a dumbass, and he knew that he was a psychopath and wanted to kill, but he didn't have the mind for it. He wasn't a mastermind. He wasn't very smart, so he literally had to be spontaneous.
Exactly.
Because if he look how he got caught at the end of we'll go into it. We won't talk about exactly how he got caught right now, but look how he got caught. Like, you know, essentially it was just a matter of somebody spotting him. But so this dude wasn't a mastermind anyway. He basically just walked around and looked for who was open.
Which is exactly what I was just gonna say. And then too, like, once he would do the things that he did, he would do shit like eat their food and watch a movie and come all over the fucking living room floor.
But I think a lot of serial killers like are known to do that because it's just the power. It's just the power.
Like he would literally like kill and then get a hard on and have to jack off. Like that's just
it's just the power, and the fact that like it's like a hotel, like, you know, you're not coming back, someone's gonna clean, you know, there's gonna be a crime scene, so you're just gonna fucking destroy it while you're at it, and then I guess they just get off extra on that. Evil. You
gotta put that in there.
That dude was just intense, but
just,
you know,
terrible,
man.
But he got what he deserved.
The fact that he got jumped by the neighborhood, that was fucking awesome.
Like the entire neighborhood.
By the raza. That's awesome.
And like I think what it was, I think it started like in a convenience store, if I remember correctly, and one person spotted him, followed him into the neighborhood, and then like basically was like, hey, get over here, is this guy?
Hey, is Richard Ramirez, fool?
It's Richard Ramirez. Oh yeah, it was like a Latino community, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fucking East LA, man.
Yeah,
represent.
Oh yeah, East LA.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's cool, man. Like that is like, I don't know, that is like the epitome of just like a badass story. Like the fucking his own neighborhood beat him up.
Wasn't it like when they caught him and he was in like the cop car, he was like all wrapped up and because he was fucking bleeding.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, he tells in the interview, if I had a pistol, I would make them all scared. And it's like,
okay, really, little pussy.
Really, if you had a pistol, really, like, ugh.
He was just like,
that's what I was saying the other day. Nobody, like, people don't sell, like, you don't, I was telling my brothers the other day, brass knuckles aren't big anymore. I remember when I was a kid, you could see them everywhere. Everywhere was selling brass knuckles. Like, because, you know, it's like, makes you, you know, it's literally like a metal thing, and you would punch, you know, people who got into fights. You would sell those everywhere, and it's like, you don't see that anymore. And I was like, oh, because nobody actually gets up close and personal anymore. That's the thing. You know, it's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. But going back to what you said, like how women admired him, it makes me think like that him and like Ted Bundy are kind of like in the same category. Because fucking bitches were getting wet in that courtroom for Ted Bundy.
Well, I think it's just the obsession with serial killers, and then I mean,
now Ted Bundy was like all specifically women.
Yeah. Let me put it in your sense, because you're already, you know, told me your love for, you know, Ruby Riot and, you know, Ruby Rose or whatever.
Not Ruby Riot. Ew, one with the green hair.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
I cannot think of her name right now.
Let's put it on the other opposite side of the spectrum. So if there was that, because I know you love things like, you love horror, you love, you know, serial killer documentaries and things like that. It fascinates you, and you're like, if there was a Richard Ramirez or Ted Bundy like killer out on the loose right now in Texas where we're at, like, would you be infatuated to like go to their trial and like go to their like death sentencing or anything like that?
I think,
like, and not be in love with them, but like at least go and like check it out and be there.
I think I would want to be the one. Yes, I would go and want to check it out, but to be the one that's like
Writing
like
them letters and stuff like that.
Writing him letters, like telling him like what a scum I think he is, like just to see like it would make me happy as a woman. Not,
Oh, you wouldn't write love letters?
No, I'd be like, I hate you. But
Like the story of Sean Penn.
Who?
You hear about that?
No.
Sean Penn like when Richard Ramirez was in jail or something. Sean Penn like was on set and like punched a producer or punched somebody. So he went to, they took him to the jail and he was just like in holding for a little bit and then I guess he got out.
Yeah.
But while he was in holding, the guard was talking. The guard was like, "Hey, Richard Ramirez is just like a few blocks down. Like he's a big fan of yours. He wants you to sign something like to take to him."
Yeah.
And Sean Penn was like, "Oh, well, send me something. Tell him to send me something or something like that." I don't know the full story, but it's like that. So, it was like a napkin and he wrote like, "Keep knocking him out" or something, or "Keep punching him." And then Richard Ramirez. And then he wanted Sean Penn to send back like an autograph or something. So Sean Penn like wrote like, "You're a piece of shit. Hope you fucking die in here, blah, blah, blah." And then gave it to the guard to send him back.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then he ended up dying.
See, this is awesome. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you really know what we were talking about today?
Yeah, but I know little snippets.
And
yeah.
I had no idea. That's
brain works.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
that's what
that was Shout Out Fire and the Kid. That's where they were talking about it. And then they also talked about how his eyes were fucking like green whenever
yes.
the cancer that he had, his fucking eyes turned like neon green.
I wonder if there's a photo of him like that. I wonder if there's a photo of him like that somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
that was like some darkness. That was like his dark soul just trying to escape.
Oof, the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Oy. Yeah, but I think he was on death row. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be.
Yeah, he's gone now. Killed, I think he's still here. He's stuck on this. People like that. They, I don't necessarily believe in a hell. I just believe people like that. That Earth is the hell. You just that's where LA. Ghosts and shit get stuck here when they're like that.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
But back to when I brought up Ted Bundy, I just wanted to say the two shows or movies that I've watched on Netflix about him, literally so good. So there's Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes, where they actually will play like
the Zac Efron one fucking sucked.
The Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was really good.
I think I wanted to see him transform into a full like creepo, because Ted Bundy, you gotta admit, he was like a creepo psychopath.
Yeah,
like he would jerk off outside of women's like fucking rooms and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the times when he was in Florida, when he like broke into that sorority house, that was crazy.
Yeah,
the Omega something.
Yeah, he was just but see, that's what I mean. Like, it's just shit in your head, because like he was a good looking dude. Obviously could get women even after all the killings he got women. Yeah. And it's like it just shit, man. It's just wires are just crossed differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the sad part. But yeah, overall, like the Conversations with the Killer, I definitely would recommend, because it actually, you like hear his voice. That's why it's the Ted Bundy tapes.
Oh yeah.
Because there was one specific, I don't know if it's detective, investigator, I can't remember, but he would just go like over time and visit him and obviously record their conversations.
Damn.
So you actually get to hear like what he had to say.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then the Zac Efron movie was just like
yeah, see, that's what I mean. But isn't there another Ted Bundy one on Amazon Prime? On
Amazon, yes. Oh, that's the one that it's about. I think it's like his daughter or his.
Oh yeah, it's about the chick that he. And that's a fucked up thing. It's about the chick that he got pregnant, because back then, they said that when a guy back then in like the 80s and shit, or 70s, when was Ted Bundy? What time? It was like late 70s, early 80s.
70s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually a thing, like I don't know if it's necessarily, but it almost made it seem like it was a public service announcement type thing. If a man is raping you, let it happen so they don't kill you. That was like the idea back then. Like that's what I mean. It's like there's people that are talking about like, oh, there's things have changed. You shouldn't do now. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. But back then you could. Maybe it's because back then we kind of thought like fucking Neanderthals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe we didn't have shit figured out, even in the 80s and 70s. Maybe we didn't have shit figured out yet. Maybe that's why you could do it back then, but not now. Because back then we were fucking dumb. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe that has something to do with it. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah.
Oh man, I'm just loving this. And then I know you mentioned that they were talking about it on the Fighter and the Kid podcast, but remember when they were? I'm actually really excited for that. Is it Cecil or Cecil Hotel?
Oh yeah.
And is it in Los Angeles? I think that's where it's at. I know it's in California, but
Oh, okay.
I'm excited for that
I think
Netflix
it's in
show to come
California.
out. But
yes, because
didn't that creep you out?
okay, I'm not. I pride myself on not being. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of dark spirits or ghosts. I fucking welcome them, bitches. Come at me.
I love
no,
it.
No, I'm just kidding. But so like in it, like I always pride one movie for being like the one, because even horror movies, I'm like that one guy that looks, oh, if I was in that situation I'd do this and this and this, I wouldn't be in that situation. There's one fucking horror movie that actually really scared me, and I've yet to watch a second one, but I do need to watch the second one. Was Sinister was the only fucking horror movie that actually, where I went to bed that night and I was actually like, whew, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I've heard the second one was bad.
Oh, fuck.
So there you go.
Maybe that's why. But so there's not many things, like, of course, Richard Ramirez, of course now you can say like, oh, they're dead, so I'm not worried about that,
Yeah.
But I'm not really worried about like a lot of stories or like mysteries don't creep me out really as much. But that one with the chick in the Cecil Hotel,
the girl from Canada.
Yeah. Kind of creepy.
I know.
Kind of fucking creepy.
Are you sure you're gonna want to watch
I'm
that
gonna watch
show,
it,
right?
but it's kind of because I want to know what happened, because there has to be a logical explanation to it. There has to be.
So there's like,
even though there's spirits and demons and shit that haunt that hotel,
yeah.
I don't believe they can fucking kill you and put you in a water tower.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, because that footage of her in the elevator that they showed like on the trailer and stuff for it, it's like, how do you explain that? Like, she's backed up in the corner and she's like sticking her head out the elevator doing one of these, and she's like running from something, but that's what's never been uncovered, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then not to mention with that hotel itself, not just her story, it's the fact that serial killers like stayed there, like the Richard Ramirez, that he would walk up to the hotel bloody, strip of his clothes and walk through the hotel lobby up to his room butt ass naked. And nobody said a word.
Nobody said a fucking word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
terrible.
crazy.
And then did you know that hotel is actually based on the same hotel in American
Horror Story? Yeah, and maybe that's why, like, in was it The Shining too?
The Shining.
Is The Shining based off of that?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just the Cecil Hotel.
I think there's some things in American Horror Story that they played off The Shining. I think is what it was, because I think like they do the elevator scene in American Horror Story too with all the blood, right? Don't they do something like that?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there's some elements where they played off The Shining. Whoa.
You heard that?
What was that?
That's kind of creepy.
That was kind of creepy. Like our audio just popped. Ooh.
Oh.
Like echoed for a second.
Oof.
It was like The Shining.
Sorry about that.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I don't know if y'all heard that. It was weird. It was like The Shining.
I wonder if you'll be able to hear it.
It was like The Shining. That was weird.
Oof.
Ooh.
Okay, move on.
After I just said I welcome demons, it's like they're all fucking rushing towards me.
I'm like, not me.
They're all looking. We're all doing the podcast, and they're just fucking looking at us like from all directions. We have no idea. So yeah, that creeps me out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just one more thing I want to mention about the American Horror Story. If you haven't watched that, it's one of the best, I guess you can say, story seasons of that show, because
I
think it is. I think it is.
No.
One of the best, not
Asylum
the best.
is the best.
No,
Asylum
is the best.
number 1. Freak Show's number 2. Murder House is kind of sucky. It was okay, but it was too much of like a teenage love story. What was season 2 was Asylum.
Coven.
No, Coven was season 3. Whoa, you hear that? It's a fucking ice cream truck. It's dark. It's dark outside, but it's early. The ice cream truck always gives me a little.
What's the clown's name from American Horror Story?
Dark vibes. I was gonna say Pennywise. Is it? Fuck.
What's his name?
Oh my god.
Let me look it up real quick.
Is it like pinball or something?
No, he had pinballs.
Oh.
Remember?
Shit, Twisty
the clown.
Yeah.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, season 2? What was season 2? Was it Asylum? Asylum was season 2.
Season 2 Asylum.
Yeah.
Murder House Asylum.
Yeah, and then Coven sucked.
Coven sucked ass.
Coven sucked. And then what was after that? Freak Show.
Freak Show.
Because I've always been into like that dark clown, dare I say juggalo type shit. You know?
ICP.
Yeah. Whoop whoop. No, I'm just kidding. 4 strokes with him.
4 strokes with him.
Yeah. So I would say Asylum and I would say Freak Show. My 2 favorite American Horror Stories.
What about 3? Number 3?
What do you mean number 3?
1, 2, 3. Rank them.
So after Freak Show, it was Hotel. If I remember correctly, right?
No, not in order. Your favorite.
No,
3.
but I'm trying to remember the season so I can get in an order which ones I like.
Hotel, yes, and then Roanoke. Roanoke sucked too.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen the. So I guess the other one Election was.
You didn't like it?
I liked it, but top 3.
Yeah. Election night, and then there
I'll
was
give Hotel.
Apocalypse.
I'll give Hotel. Hotel was pretty good. I think it just focused too much on Lady Gaga because she was the big star of the season. Because that was the first season where what's her name was gone.
Sarah Paulson.
No, the first one that left, the older lady.
Kathy Bates.
No.
I don't know.
She was the freaking. She was the main nun in Asylum.
Oh,
she was also played the neighbor in Murder House,
yes.
and then she was like the main lady too in Freak Show.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
So she basically got replaced by Lady Gaga.
What's her name?
Yeah, I know. Well, because she wanted to pursue acting and other ventures, and it's like, lady, you're on fucking American Horror Story. You can't get any bigger than that. Jessica Lange, yes. Jessica Lange. You're on American Horror Story. You can't get any bigger than that. And then look, she's coming. Oh no, she's not coming back. Sarah Paulson's coming back. Yeah, because she wasn't in the last one. No, didn't anyone even watch the last season of American Horror Story?
Apocalypse? Was that the last one?
No, it was.
Oh no, 1987.
Yeah, no.
I watched that one and I did not like it. I did not.
Yeah, Apocalypse. I watched like 2 episodes or 3 episodes, and I was like, "This is fucking boring."
I know. Yeah, it was a little boring. Yeah, my top 3 would be let's see, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. My top 3 would be Asylum, Hotel, and Election Night.
No, it would be Asylum, Freak Show, and Hotel. That would be mine.
Okay.
Yeah, Murder House probably next. I got to give Apocalypse a chance because what American Horror Story does is I might have this up too high.
It's it starts off slow.
It starts off slow, but I think all seasons do that. All seasons start off slow, and by episode 4 or 5, it switches over.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's okay when it comes to like a theme that you're into, but when it comes to a theme that you're not into, that's when you lose interest. Like Apocalypse, I'm like, okay, they're all in this fucking shelter, whatever. I lost interest, but I can hold off for something like Election Night, something like Freak Show, something like Asylum, something like Hotel, because the theme is just like overall crazy and cool. So that's just that.
Love it.
What other serial killer shit are you watching or into?
Actually,
3 Blind Mice.
I didn't want to really talk about this one, but I'm just gonna do like a brief because I haven't finished it. I Am a Killer on Netflix. It's not like known serial killers, but it's actually like they're in there interviewing the killer, and then this is what they do. And I think I've established this with you too. Yeah. So they start off the shows with talking to the killer, getting their side of the story.
Oh yes.
And then they honestly make you feel bad for them.
They make you feel like they're innocent and like it's literally their guilty story.
Then the people who really know them, their family members, their friends,
they're like, no, this person's a piece of shit.
Yeah, like, oh no, they're fucking lying. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I'm gonna believe them more because obviously you're in here for killing somebody and doing these terrible things. So why am I gonna believe that you're in the right state of mind?
There was one, like the one with the lady, like the one with the lady killing her husband, how the husband would beat her, and like how the husband like shared her with like all his friends and shit like that. It's like that she kind of got me there because it's like back in that time, like I said, you couldn't say a man did all this because they just you're a woman. Just because you're a woman, they just I'm sorry, it's the way it was back then. And it sucks. And like I said, we were fucking dumb back then. Maybe we didn't have all the answers we thought we did. But so at first I believed her, and then you realize she shot him in the back of the head. But she did kill him because of the reasons of all that shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't the struggle that she accidentally shot him. She should have really said, like, yeah, the dude was fucking raping me. The dude was fucking doing all this crazy shit, beating my daughter.
So
I shot him
during the original trial.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because she wanted to cover up the story and make it look like it was an accident or something like that. But in reality, she should have said, he all did. Oh, you're saying that like she didn't? Yeah, she could have made all that up. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what I
the
mean.
part that made me turn against her was when she's over here saying that this man was going to hurt our daughter
Oh, yes.
and this and that. And I stood
forgot
up
about
for
that.
her and I took so many beatings for her. And then they interview the daughter and she's like fucking over here on the verge of tears. Like, no, she never stood up for me. And I'm like, I believe that.
Yeah, that's not a good mother at all.
And then the girl that said her boyfriend wanted her to kill her or kill him.
Okay, like that, like
and she
lady,
like choked him out.
Okay, like now that just like come on.
Yeah. And her theory was that he would say, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, can you kill him? Or no, she first said, I can do this. I can strangle you and it won't hurt that bad. And he's like, really? You would do that for me? And then she's like, yes, of course. And he's like, no, I can't expect you to do that. And then she would feel like, oh my God, I let him down. Like, like obviously you're fucking
How many
Momo.
times have I been that down in the past, few months where I've been in that situation? Not once have you ever said, well, you know what? I could just
strangle
fucking
you.
stab you in the heart. That'll help you.
Obviously, there's something going on in your head, girl.
Yes.
Because I just can't believe this. But like I said, I haven't finished them, so maybe when I have a better idea of some of these other people and I have these stories to tell, because honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm obsessed with this shit. But not in like a way where like it like what is it? Like it persuades me or pressures me or
Where you flick the bean over it?
Sorry, what?
Where you flick the bean?
What
A
bean?
little bit of a little bit of that.
Like the
You know?
bean.
Yeah.
No. Like whenever was it on your mom's podcast whenever Tom Segura and Christina, they were talking about Richard Ramirez and Tom Segura
Richard
like,
the Menace.
Yeah, he was doing this
He's all
and Christina's like, why are you touching your dick right now?
He's like, I'm scratching it. He said Richard the Menace.
Richard the Menace. I love them. They're so funny.
Richard the Menace. Yeah, no, over the past few months, like, it's really been, like, honestly, like, I mean, it's fucking, I've been transparent about it, since, my mother passing. It's like, I've really been down, and it's like, it really makes you think about, like, what shows out there actually, like, make you, like, laugh and make you happy, like, make you, and it's like one, like, Tim Dillon show on, like, Your Mom's House. They've really stepped it up. And then you have other podcasts, the fucking King of the Sting. They've been really fucking,
they've been to jobbers
oh
lately.
my God, what's going on with Theo Vaughn?
I
Shit,
have no idea.
He's trading in that career for some cocaine.
Maybe you should cut that out.
I don't give a fuck. No one's gonna watch this.
Theo Vaughn's gonna watch this.
Two people that watch the show. Theo Vaughn's gonna watch this. Gonna say gang gang.
Gang,
Gonna
gang.
say, you know it, brother.
I know. I love it.
Oh my gosh! But I like
man.
Fighter and the Kid. Fighter and the Kid has really stepped up.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. A lot of podcasts has really recently stepped up, and that's why
We
we're
were just
stepping
talking
up
about
too.
serial killers. Now we're talking about podcasts.
I know, right? Like, well, see, because like you're into serial killers, like I'm into podcasts. Like,
Right.
it's
So we
weird.
just like combine the two.
Yeah, and it's like,
Perfect.
yeah, that's why I'm just like a nerd for this shit. That's why I like doing it. That's why I like doing this with you.
Yeah.
It's like even my brother told me, he's like, dude, every time I come over to your house, you have a different podcast on the TV.
Oh yeah. He didn't believe that we just like sit here and watch them.
Yeah, I was like, podcast is my TV, so
Yeah.
here I am.
Yep.
Making my own TV.
The tube.
The tube. A lot of people already turned the channel right now, though. Do you have any other serial killers you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered my top fascinations. Just kidding.
Your top fascinations?
Oh.
Who's the number one serial
Who's
killer
well
you'd flick
known?
your bean over?
What? No, none. I
Oh.
would not flick my bean to any of them, actually. It's so terrible.
Oh, God, this show. What is even this show?
I flick my bean to you.
Ooh, hello. Yeah. I'd tug my skin flute for you.
You play the skin flip.
Play the skin flute.
Sorry,
This is
guys.
why we're never going to get
Watchamania.
sponsors. This is why we're never going to get sponsors. I think we should end it right there. It's
What
a good
about,
end it. Oh, I wanted to talk about, did you have any more?
I'm good.
Well, current events was at the beginning of the episode. We missed our fucking chance. We need to set these up better.
We just like We think that we can talk about like a few topics at a time, but honestly, one or two we'll get deep into, and then we're like out of time.
I think it's at the point. Well, I mean, we can go as long as we want, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think it just when we bring up one topic, it brings up another topic,
Exactly.
and that's how podcasts get off the rails. But I think that's the point of podcasts. So we'll try to keep it as structured as possible,
Yeah.
like a show essentially. But in the end of the day, this is our
Fuck
show.
it.
We can do it however we want. But
Exactly.
for the sake of listeners to know what the fuck we're talking about, we'll try to keep it on track. But there are going to be those times where we get off the rails,
Yeah.
like now. So fuck it. Let's. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
By get out of here, I mean go across to the living room.
Yeah. You want to go sit on the couch, babe?
Oh gosh, anything else on your mind? What else you got?
No.
What else you got, Chin?
Honestly, I think I'm. What else you got, Nick?
What else you got, Nick?
Honestly, I think
That's
I'm
how
ready
you
for
know it's like a show to somebody like that, because it's just like, okay, what else you got? What else you
Brendan
got?
Schaub
It's not just
always
like I'm gonna
does
sit
that.
here and have a conversation.
It bothers me.
Yeah, you can tell he's like a robot sometimes,
Mhm.
but I
Like
still love him.
you can tell Brendan Schaub. This is a good way to say it. He keeps track of the time.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah,
It's
everything's
like-
like a schedule, and I think everything it's like a legit
Yeah.
business to him. That's why he's fucking driving fucking Porsches and Ferraris, because
Yeah.
it's like a schedule. I'm doing this podcast now. I'm doing this podcast
Mhm.
now. I'm doing this podcast now. It's fucking badass.
Yeah.
That's the way to live, man. That's
I
living.
know.
That's fucking living.
Yeah.
Damn, good stuff.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for another shot.
I know, right? I'm ready for another shot too. I think those shots we took before the episode really made this episode go off the rails. So we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being part of our universe. Peace and love, and you will hear from us soon.
Bye, guys.